Hello my dear students. In this presentation I am going to explain about chapter 6, molecular basis of inheritance. In this presentation let us learn about nucleic acids. So you might have heard about the name nucleic acids. These are nothing else but the organic macromolecules and they are found in the nucleus of a cell. And these nucleic acids are acidic in nature, hence the name nucleic acids. And these nucleic acids were discovered by Frederick Mister in the pus cells and he called them as nuclein. Later they were called as nucleic acid by Altman. There are two kinds of nucleic acids in the living organism, that is DNA and RNA. That is deoxyribose nucleic acid and ribose nucleic acid. Now let us learn about DNA, that is deoxyribose nucleic acid. This DNA is a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. That means many monomers of this deoxyribonucleotides are joined to form a long polymer. That means chain-like a structure. And the length of the DNA depends upon the number of the nucleotides present in it. For example, if the bacteria DNA is considered to be very less, okay, when compared to that of the human DNA. So the length of the DNA in the bacteria is less because they are having less number of the nucleotides. The human is more because the human genome has the more number of nucleotide pairs. And the characteristics of an organism depends upon the length of a DNA. And these are mainly found in the nucleus. I had already told you. And these are also found in other cell organelles such as mitochondria and chloroplast. And in most of the organisms, this DNA is considered as the genetic material which controls the hereditary characters. Now let us look at the components of a DNA. The DNA is composed of three main units. The first one is the pentose sugar. And second one is the nitrogen base. Third one, phosphate group. Pentose sugar is a 5-carbon compound. This is a 5-carbon compound. Hence the name pentose. See here, this is 5. Right. And hence it is a deoxyribose sugar. See, this is a deoxyribose sugar. This is a ribose sugar. In DNA, this pentose sugar is present. Deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA. Why it is called deoxy means, see here, one oxygen molecule is absent in the second position. Whereas in ribose, the oxygen molecule is present. In deoxyribose, one oxygen molecule is absent. Hence, it is called deoxyribose sugar. So, this is a pentose sugar which is present in DNA. Next, we'll go for the nitrogen base. Nitrogen base are the nitrogenous compounds which are classified into purines and pyrimidines. See here, this adenine and guanine are said to be the purines. Why? Because they have double ring structure. Here also this is double ring and this is also a double ring. And this is pyrimidines, that is cytosine and thymine. They are having single ring structure. In the DNA molecule, this nitrogen bases shows complementary base pairing. What do you mean by complementary base pairing? Means always purines base pairs with pyrimidines. This you should know. For example, A, that means adenine base pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds, as well as the thymine base pairs with adenine by the same 2 hydrogen bonds. And second case, the guanine always base pairs with the cytosine by 3 hydrogen bonds, and cytosine also base pairs with the guanine by the 3 hydrogen bonds, that is vice versa. So this pair is known as, or this pairing rule is known as Kirchhoff base pair rule. Now let us go for the phosphate group, that is a phosphoric acid H3PO4. Okay, this phosphoric acid is present in the DNA. This phosphoric acid gives the acidic nature to the DNA. Now let us learn about the nucleosides and nucleotides. Nucleoside. This is nothing else but when the pentose sugar in case of the DNA is deoxyribose sugar, right? When this pentose sugar combines with nitrogen base, it forms nucleoside. There are 4 different kinds of the deoxyribose sugar, that is deoxyribose sugar. When it combines with the adenine, it forms deoxyadenosine. Deoxyribose sugar, when it combines with guanine, it forms deoxyguanosine. And deoxyribose sugar, when it combines with thymine, this forms deoxythymidine. And deoxyribose sugar, when it combines with the cytosine, it forms deoxycytidine. So these 4 are the nucleosides which are present in DNA. Next, nucleotide. How these nucleotides are formed means, when nucleoside combines with a phosphate group, it forms nucleotide. See, deoxyadenosine plus phosphate forms deoxyadenylic acid, commonly known as DAMP, deoxyadenosine monophosphate. Next, deoxyguanosine with phosphate forms deoxyguanylic acid, DGMP, and deoxythymidine with phosphate forms deoxythymidyllic acid, DTMP, and deoxycytidine with phosphate forms deoxycytidyllic acid, DCMP. So these are the nucleosides and nucleotides which are present in DNA. Next, let us learn about the formation of polynucleotide chain. How a polynucleotide chain is formed in DNA. See, the 2 nucleotides are there here. See, this is one nucleotide and this is another nucleotide, right? See, these 2 nucleotides are joined by 3,5 phosphodiester linkage. See, this is a 3rd prime end and this is called 5th prime end. When these 2 links, this linkage is known as 3,5 phosphodiester linkage. Then this forms a dinucleotide. Di means 2 are linked, right? So this is nothing else but a phosphodiester bond which is formed between 2 successive nucleotides. Okay. Similarly, many nucleotides are joined with the help of the phosphodiester bond, forming the polynucleotide. Okay. Here you have to note that the polynucleotide chain has free phosphate end. That is, at the 5 prime end, there will be a free phosphate moiety. And this is known as 5 prime end. And the other end of the polymer is having OH group, that we call it as 3OH or 3 prime group. And coming to the backbone of the polynucleotide chain, it is again sugar and phosphate. Next, very important topic, double helical structure of DNA or the duplex model of DNA. It is also known as Watson and Crick model of DNA. See, based on the X-ray diffraction data, James D. Watson and F.H.C. Crick proposed a model for the DNA molecule, that is the double helical model. It was proposed in the year 1953 and it was published in a scientific journal called Nature. Now let us look at this double helical structure of DNA in detail. According to this model, the DNA molecule is composed of two polynucleotide chain, and this polynucleotide chain, what I am showing you, so this is two and they are helically coiled, that means just like a spring, right? So this just looks like a spring, and this helically coiled structure, both the chains are oriented in an anti-parallel manner. That means one will be having the 5' end and on the other chain it will be in a 3'. Similarly, you just see here 3' and 5'. Right. So this manner is known as anti-parallel manner or anti-parallel direction. And the polynucleotide chain on the one strand is formed by phosphodiester linkages, that is from 5' to 3'. See here, this is 5' to 3'. Whereas the phosphodiester linkage on the other strand will be from the 3' to 5'. Hence, these both strands of the DNA are said to be arranged in an anti-parallel fashion. Next, both the polynucleotide chains are held together by means of the hydrogen bonds. So, there are some hydrogen bonds here that is formed between the nitrogen bases, that is adenine always base pairs with thymine by two hydrogen bonds that I have already told you, and guanine always bears pairs with the cytosine by 3 hydrogen bonds, right? So this is called the base pairing between the nucleotides and this was proposed by Kirchhoff, hence we call it as Kirchhoff base pair rule. Okay. See, both the polynucleotide chains take a turn for every 34 angstrom. So, one turn is about 34 angstrom. So, or else we can also call it as 3.4 nanometer. So, this is complete turn, right? So, this is 3.4 nanometer. And here, for internucleotide distance, it is 0.34 nanometer or 3.4 angstrom between the nucleotides. That means roughly we can say there are 10 number of nucleotides in a turn. And the diameter of the DNA is found to be the 20 angstrom or 2 nanometer. And I had already told you the pentose sugar and the phosphate makes a backbone of a DNA. So this is known as double helical structure of the DNA or duplex model of DNA. Now let us go for the functions of the DNA. What are the functions that usually DNA will do? The first one is autocatalytic function. That means this DNA undergoes replication and produce daughter DNA molecule. And the second one is heterocatalytic function. That means DNA directs for the synthesis of protein. First is the DNA undergoes replication and DNA forms RNA and that process is known as transcription. And RNA forms protein and that process is known as translation. And the end product is the protein. If the DNA expresses The end product is proteins. See here, the DNA undergoes replication, that is, it produces daughter DNA, and DNA also synthesizes the RNA, and that process is known as transcription, and the RNA produces the protein, and that process is translation. So entire this one way flow of genetic information from DNA to RNA and RNA to protein is known as central dogma of molecular biology. So this is about. Next is RNA, or the ribose nucleic acid. So it is found both in nucleus and cytoplasm of a cell. Here the RNA is made up of just a single polynucleotide chain. And it is also composed of three important components: the same pentose sugar, nitrogen base, and a phosphate group. The pentose sugar in case of the RNA is ribose. Okay, and nitrogen base, they are classified into again purines and pyrimidines. Okay, here the adenine and guanine are said to be the purines, whereas cytosine and uracil is there instead of thymine, because this is RNA. These are said to be pyrimidines. Okay, see here, as the RNA is made up of a single polynucleotide chain, there is no complementary base pairing, just a single strand is there. And phosphate group is again the same, H3PO4 phosphoric acid, which gives the acidic nature to RNA. And coming to the nucleosides and nucleotides, it is same as that of the DNA, that is, the ribose sugar combined with nitrogen base to form nucleosides. Here it is ribose sugar with adenine forms adenosine, ribose sugar with guanine forms guanosine, and ribose sugar with uracil forms uridine, and ribose sugar with cytosine form cytidine. Similarly, the nucleotides, that is the nucleosides combine with the phosphate group to form nucleotides, that is adenosine combines with phosphate to form adenylic acid AMP. Next, guanosine with phosphate forms guanylic acid, and uridine with phosphate forms uridylic acid, and cytidine with phosphate forms cytidric acid. So these are the nucleotides and these are the nucleosides which are present in the RNA molecule. Now let us go for the types of the RNA. There are two types of RNA. The first one is genetic RNA and non-genetic RNA. Genetic RNA means the RNA that acts like a genetic material. The name itself, it is indicating genetic. And this type of the RNA can be seen in few viruses. And here in viruses, this controls the hereditary character. For example, TME, HIV and RSV virus. And non-genetic RNA means they do not control the genetic, they do not act like a genetic material. Okay, and do not control the hereditary characters also. And these are mRNA, that is messenger, tRNA, transfer RNA, and ribosomal RNA. See, these all RNA molecules are produced by DNA only. Okay, and that process is called transcription. And these RNA molecules participate in the protein synthesis. So this is about the nucleic acids. Hope you understood. Thank you for listening.